Welcome to Family and Feast channel. My name is Janet and this is
Chloe again.
Chloe is our taste tester. Remember all the ingredients and measurements, it will be listed down below in the description box.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Everyone, in today's video we will be making Goja, and this is a requested video from one of my subscribers. Sorry I took so long with this recipe, but we just had so much going on. Here is what you will need to put this recipe together. I have some all-purpose flour. I have freshly grated coconut. I have some warm water, not hot, but warm water. I have some sugar, butter. I have oil for frying, and you will need much more oil than this. I have some freshly grated ginger, some food coloring, essence, nutmeg. I have some instant yeast, and this is the instant yeast, guys, not the dry active yeast. I have some orange powder, and this is my homemade orange powder. If you don't have the orange powder, you can use a piece of that fresh orange peel. I have some salt and baking powder. Now, our first step is kneading our dough. So I'll place the other ingredients on the side and we'll get started on that step. Now, to knead your dough, you'll add in all these ingredients that I'm adding in here, which is the butter, the baking powder, and the yeast. And we'll just mix to make sure that all the ingredients are combined. So guys, I'm gonna just go in with my hands. And you want to make sure that the butter is well combined within the flour. And now we're going to form a well in the middle and add in a little bit water at a time. And when you're bringing your dough together, try not to squeeze on the flour that has already come together. Just grab it and allow them to stick together, not pressing them so that they get hard. So we're not looking for a stiff dough, nor are we looking for a sticky dough. Now, to know when you get the right texture of dough, once you roll your dough to the side of your bowl, it shouldn't stick or paste on the side. When you press it, it shouldn't stick on your fingers. If it sticks on your finger, that means the dough is too sticky. We're looking for a sada roti texture. So now that my dough come together, I'm going to knead it for about a minute or so, and then we'll place this on the side. So now that my dough has come together and I'm done kneading it for that minute or so, I'm just going to cover it with a damp paper towel. Now we're going to cover it with a damp paper towel to prevent that dry crust layer on the top of the dough. We'll place this on the side and we'll move on to the next step. So guys, our next step is to a heavy bottom pot. You're going to add in your coconut. And we're going to parch on, let's say, medium-high heat. So we're going to parch it until it starts to have that light, very light golden brown color. You know, we just want it to be discolored a little. And you want the heat to be like medium to medium low. You don't want the coconut to burn. You want it to just have that nice light color. Now if you find the coconut is getting too brown too fast, you'll have to lower your heat down. It means that the heat is too high. You want the coconut to cook slowly. This is getting to the color that I like. I'm going to start adding in all my dry ingredients. That was my nutmeg. I'm going to add in some salt. And here is my orange powder, my ginger. And we're going to mix this in and allow the flavors to infuse within the coconut on the heat. And we want to add the essence. After about 5 minutes or so, you'll add in your sugar. and we want to mix this in. And in the meantime, we'll add in our coloring and try to get it to the color that we know Goja is always known to have. So guys, this is all done here, and this is the consistency or the texture you're looking for. So now that we have our sugar and the coloring all mixed in within the coconut, and it's at a nice color, and you're seeing those sugar crystal, you want to add in 1 tablespoon of water, and we want to mix this to make sure that the sugar is melted. And we want to add it 1 tablespoon at a time because we don't want to see any of the syrup on the bottom of the pan. So I've added in just a tablespoon for now, and as you can see, I don't have any sauce on the bottom or any syrup on the bottom. If you have any syrup on the bottom and you're ready to close up your Goja, then the syrup will, you know, give you a hard time to close it. And then when you're ready to fry it, sometimes what happens, it bursts in the oil and it oozes out, and then you have a big mess in the pot. So far I've added 2 tablespoons of water, and there is no syrup on the bottom, as you can see. Again, you want the heat from the pot to melt the sugar. You don't want the water to have to cook the sugar and melt it. We're adding the water just to make sure that it doesn't burn or stick to the bottom. So I'm just gonna check on this now to make sure that there's no more sugar grain. So I can still feel some sugar grain in there. And I'm gonna add in 1 more tablespoon of water. The water is just to give it some moisture while the sugar is melting. So guys, this is all done here. I'm going to take this off. There's no more sugar grain, and there's no liquid running on the side or anything like that, as you can see. So we're just going to empty this and allow it to cool down before we start filling our Goja. So guys, now that we're done with our coconut and we have our dough all set, we're going to just turn this out, and we're going to start separating them into small pieces. Now, according to how big you like them to be, or how big, that's how big you're going to make your dough. I'm actually not going to make them too big. So guys, in total I have 14 pieces of dough, and I use 3 cups of flour. So that's how you will know the size that I have here. You'll just have to divide it into 14 pieces, so you'll know the size, and it's like a handful. So we'll just place these on the side and we'll work on one at a time. And I have some oil heating up in the back. So guys, we're gonna just flatten one of your dough ball out a little. And we're just gonna roll this out. Try to get it as round as possible. And this here I have a 4 teaspoon measurement, and I'm actually going to use just one of that. And you want to grab a little bit of water on your finger and just dap the edges like halfway down. And you're gonna bring this down all the way down here. Let me turn it so you can see. And you're gonna press to seal the edges. You want to press the middle here as well on the top and squeeze all the air that is probably in there. Now with your fork, you're gonna press to seal in the edges. I just put a little bit of flour on the edge here of my board, and I dip my fork in it so it doesn't stick or paste to the dough when I'm trying to seal it in. Now here you go, this is one that's done. We'll continue doing the rest, and I will show you when I'm ready to fry these. I'll just leave that one on the side. Now I'm gonna just do 2 of them like that for you to see, and I'll continue doing the rest and then I'll fry them. Remember to add the water to seal in the edges. And remember to press from the top so you bring whatever air may be trapped in there. You're just going to place it in a little bit of the flour and press the edges so it doesn't stick. So guys, now that we have these 3 here, we're gonna head over to the stove and I'm gonna fry this. So we're gonna take these over to the stove now. So guys, I'm waiting for my oil to come up to a nice hot temperature. And you will know that your oil is nice and hot when you start seeing some fine bubbles rising on the edge of the spoon. Mine is still not there, so I'm gonna hold on a bit. So now that your oil is nice and hot, you're going to turn your stove down to medium low heat. Now you want to add these in your pan gently. You can do like 2 at a time. Now once you see they rise to the top, just flip it over. It rises to the top, just flip it over. Now we're going to allow them to cook on that side until it's a nice light golden brown color, and then we'll flip them right back over. If you flip them over and they're not at the color you like, you can always flip them back over. You don't want to keep them too long on one side because it might burst on the other side. So guys, the color you're looking for to know when they're done is they should look like bake, the color of a bake. So once you see they have that color, you know they're done. So these are all done here. I'm gonna take these out of oil now, and I'm just gonna add in the other one. Remember, as soon as it rises to the top, you're gonna flip it over on the other side. So here's a look at the first set that's finished frying. We're going to finish up with the rest, and I'll show you guys the end result. So guys, we're gonna just cut into one of this Goja and let you see how the inside is. And here you go. So soft and juicy. Now Chloe's gonna try them and she will tell you guys how good it is.
Time to try it. Yummy. Bye, like and subscribe. See you in our next video.